Welcome to the Unscripted Journey podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia Schoen. Around here, we believe in living life on purpose, not by permission. Each week, we'll talk real growth, fresh starts, and bold steps to create a life that's true to you. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's take this journey together. Welcome back to the Unscripted Journey. Friends, today, I want to talk about something simple but powerful, and that's about starting small. One choice, one habit, one moment of intention can literally shift the direction of your entire life. Boom, there I said it. One thing can totally change where you are today, and you will look at yourself completely different tomorrow. At the end of this episode, I'm going to be briefly talking about a 7-day micro shift journal challenge, and that information is going to be in the episode notes. So let's get right into it. The big lie of all or nothing. It's a common belief that I'm calling out that change has to be big and bold, right? Some people say, oh, you got to go cold turkey. You got to do it now. You got to go big or go home. That is not true. That is a myth. That doesn't work for everyone. It may work for some people, but it does not work for the common person, especially one that's bogged down, that's busy, that's got so many things going on in the head and in the life. Go big or go home is not for everybody. Waiting for perfect conditions, for the right time, for the right moment, for the right people, for my right mind shift, for me to be emotionally in the right place. That kept me stuck for years. Guys, I had an idea for a podcast almost 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I had this in my heart to start. But I was stuck because I was waiting for everything to be perfect. The right equipment, the right subjects, the right emotional state of mind, the right opportunity, having enough time in my evenings or my weekends. I always made an excuse because I wanted to have everything in perfect order. But you know what? It got to the point where I had to say, I have to just start now. As imperfect as this podcast may sound, and it may not be the most professional podcast that you've ever heard. Yes, I make mistakes. Yes, I may not be the best editor. But you know what? I started because I know that things will get perfected as I go along the way and as I get better. But for a long time, that's what was keeping me stuck, and I just couldn't start that and feeling like I was going to get judged by everyone. But I started to really think about the reasons that I wanted to change my life. And I didn't overhaul my life in one night, right? I told you it took me 3 years to even start the podcast, to change my mindset. But I made the choice to start. My only plan in my head was like, listen, I want to be different. I want my life to look different, to feel different. And I'm going to do something different today. Because in order to be different, you have to do something different, right? You know what they say about insanity. It's like repeating the same thing over and over and getting the same results. You have to change. You have to do something in order to get to where you want to go. It's taking that first step. And it's not always easy, but yes, it is possible. So I began myself, right? I can't even tell you the exact moment it happened. I remember that I started to shift in my mind. I wanted things to change in my life. And I started listening to motivational podcasts every single day. Listen, when I tell you that I was at work and in my headphones, I was listening to something, I was listening to something. I was listening to people talking about mind shift changes. I was listening to talks about entrepreneurship. I was listening to episodes about self-development. I took it so seriously that I just started absorbing everything. I started reading books. I was soaking things up so much because I had a hunger inside of me to change. And that kind of had a ripple effect, right? I started to track my weekly and daily progress on my iPhone notes. And on top of that, I started to share with my husband for accountability, and he started to share his with me for accountability. So every time he made a change or I made a change, when you share your notes on your iPhone, it alerts the other person that a change has been made to the notes. So I was able to see that he read chapters 4 through 10, or that I listened to 3 podcasts that day, things of that nature. And it's important to have accountability, friends, because it keeps you on the straight and narrow. And it's important that somebody that you respect, you make them you have them keep you accountable, because if you respect them, you're going to be okay when they call you out. All right, that also created energy. And that built clarity, which created even more momentum for me. Like, I felt like I was on a roll, right? Like, I've talked about having affirmations on my walls, and I would look at myself and I would record things and say them back to myself. I would look myself in the mirror when I was getting ready, and I would say things that motivated me. And I would repeat things that I heard and listened to and that impacted me. And that is a ripple effect, because as you start to absorb things, that for me led to conversations with my husband about what we learned and how it impacted us. Would be like, hey, did you hear when Ed Milet said this and this and that? Or when Trent Shelton said this? Or listen, I can give you a list of names of people that you should be listening to, because they are awesome and they have changed my life and they have changed the way I think. But that also, those conversations led to dreaming big. I remember sitting at the winery with my husband just saying, what do we want our life to look like? And it was this beautiful fall day here in Connecticut, and we sat down and we were dreaming together, and it felt so good. I had my laptop. We were writing things down. We had our books. It was such a moment of just sitting there, sitting with our dreams and talking about what life can look like for us as we started to make changes. And we started committing that to paper, and we were learning about each other and how we can change our lives, what he could do to change his, what I could do to change mine, and how that was going to change our lives together down the line, down the future. And more importantly, it led to a mind shift change. I'm going to be doing an episode of Mind Shift. It's really important when you are changing your life that you change the way that you think. But it led to a mind shift change. Like, we saw everything through a different lens. We thought and we talked and we walked differently, right? We noticed other people, other influencers, other podcasters were like, oh my God, I see myself in that person, because I started to think differently. It's really important to absorb the right things. Small actions, they shape who we believe we are, right? When we start doing one small thing, let's just take walking, for example. My husband started a health journey, and he started walking every day and every night. And what he noticed is that even though he was tired, he sensed something different in his mind and in his body, right? That small change of him just walking, it led to weight loss. It led to health. He got off medication, and every step he took was a step closer to a better life, a healthier life. Small actions, they shape who we believe we are. We start to believe we are different when we start seeing some of those results on those small steps that we've taken in our lives. I want you to highlight your mind shift. I want you to say that I'm not just surviving anymore. I am building something. Whatever small change that you are starting to make, I want that to start shifting your mind and how you talk. I want you to flip it, and I want you to say, I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm building something. Because you know what? That's how I feel. That's how I feel on this journey. I feel like I'm not just out here working my 9 to 5. I'm building something for myself. This podcast, impacting people, encouraging people, helping them build a better life. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And it feels amazing. I want to encourage you. You don't have to do everything today. You don't have to do everything at once. You just have to do something with intention, right? I've talked about whatever you do, just start and do it with intention. Because if you're just if you're just doing things and you're just going through the motions, people, it's not going to change anything in your mind. And it's not going to change anything in your heart either, right? Like the two are connected. But it does have to do with intentionality. It has to be something that is purposeful. So as we start to think about how micro shifting builds our identity, I want you to start doing certain things to just changing what you do every day, right? Maybe journal for 5 minutes. Just sit down and journal your thoughts. Say, today is Monday and I feel XYZ. My goal for today, just look at the day. My goal for today is to listen to a podcast or walk 10 minutes during my lunch break. Journal something just for 5 minutes. It gets you into the habit of writing things down. Maybe you want to start your day meditating or praying in the morning for 10 minutes before you start your day. Like before you get out of bed, just take a moment to just close your eyes and be with your thoughts and say, man, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to impact the world. I'm going to change the way I think. I'm going to change my life. These small steps will really shift you. Believe me, friends, it's going to shift and change your life. And another micro shift is just saying no. I talk about this a lot. If you've listened to my last 7 episodes, you know that I talk about saying no to something. No to people, no to things that don't align with your new life, your new vision, your new purpose. If it doesn't align with your vision, say no to it because it's going to steal your time and your energy, and you have to preserve that. You have to protect that. It's very, very, very important. I want you to join my 7-day micro shift journal challenge, okay? How it works is that for the next 7 days, you're going to write down one micro shift you commit to, you personally. I can't tell you, I can give you some guidance, and I am going to give you guidance for the next 7 days, but you also have to sit and reflect on the things that you want to change. So I want you to reflect on what that one choice, that one change, that one thing you do is going to unlock or lead to each day. So for example, if you're going to journal for 5 minutes, what is that going to unlock for you? It's going to unlock you exploring your thoughts, right? You're writing it out. You're committing it to paper, right? I always say that. You're committing it, and then that is a way to commit it to memory. If you're going to stop social media for a day or whatever, or 3 hours, well, how is that going to unlock, or what is that going to lead to each day? So I'm going to have some suggestions, and I'm going to leave them in the episode notes. I'm going to talk about them right now, but I want to encourage you to write your own things down as well, because you know yourself better than anybody else, okay? All right. On day 1, read one motivational blog. You can go to cynthiaschoen.com. I have a blog. There's several motivational blogs there. It talks about my unscripted journey. Go there and read it. Maybe you want to go read somebody else's blog. Just search for inspirational blogs and read something, okay? Most of these blogs, they're a 2 to 3 minute read. That's not a lot for you to ask of yourself to do, right? That's just 2 to 3 minutes, goes by really quick. You can even have your iPhone read it to you. Day 2, write down one reason why you want to change. Write it down. I want to change because. For me was, I want to change my life because I want to leave a legacy. Day 3, identify a limiting belief and replace it. Like, you just can't identify it and leave it hanging. You want to replace it with something positive that counteracts it. For example, I can't do this to, I will start small and build from there. You need to replace it in order for it to change the way you think, right? And to have a positive effect. Day 4, do something uncomfortable but aligned to creating momentum, right? So something uncomfortable could be reaching out to someone that is maybe on a journey similar to yours, and maybe it's very hard for you to reach out to people. You're uncomfortable talking to strangers, right? Maybe something like that, but it's going to maybe help create momentum because you're going to learn from that person. Day 5. Celebrate a small win. We're all about taking small steps on this episode, right? Celebrate a small win. Did you reach out to that person? Ooh, yay, you did it. Awesome. Celebrate yourself. Like, give yourself a pat on the back and say, man, you did it. That was awesome. You started small, you faced your fears, and you did it. All right. Number 6, day 6, say no to something that drains you. People, say no. I've talked about social media draining us. I talked about people draining us. I talk about like activities draining us. Say no to something, because as we talked about in the last episode, when you say no to certain things, you are protecting your peace and you are protecting your time. And number 7, reflect on your week and how you feel different. Every day that you micro shifted something, now you're on day 7, reflect on what it did for you. How did you feel? Did you feel accomplished? You did that one small thing. Did you feel accomplished? Did it make you feel happy? Did it make you feel purposeful? Did it allow you to dream more? Did it open up your mind to the possibilities of having a different life? Reflect on it and expand on that, right? You can do this every day. You can do this every month. You can do this once a quarter. As I say, seasons change, times change, and it's important for us to reevaluate every so often to make sure that we are in alignment with what our vision is for our life. So big dreams begin with small starts, my friends, okay? Don't ever underestimate the power of one choice. One positive thing in your life is going to change the trajectory of where you're going. So don't forget, check the episode notes for the free 7-day micro shift journal challenge and begin to change your life today with just one small step. All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for listening to the Unscripted Journey podcast. If today's episode lit a spark in you, keep that momentum going with the Unscripted Journey Reflection Journal. It's a guided space to help you tune in, take action, and start living life on your terms. It's available now on Amazon. Just click the link in the episode notes. And don't forget, I've got free resources waiting for you over at cynthiaschoen.com to support your growth between episodes. Until next time, live free and stay unscripted.